right, we are at Beaver Creek Lodge in Utah. It's near, what is that? Bear Lake in Logan, Utah, up in the mountains, and doing something a little different today. We are driving in Maverick Trails. We're going to hit some 50-inch trails, so that's going to be neat. All right, so this is where the Maverick Trail comes into play. Got to have only vehicles less than 50 inches wide permitted. And as you can see, we're just sneaking through here like side to side touch. Well, got the mirrors and that was about it.
So my name is Graham Stanford. We're up here at Beaver Creek Lodge driving Can-Ams today. Something that sets Beaver Creek aside from other places, we do have access to these 50-inch trails. There's a lot of four-wheel trails. They designate trails differently out here in Utah and Idaho. So we can get onto these trails that have a little less access. So here in these Maverick Trails, actually, which are really good machines, we can kind of get away from the beaten path. That being said, we still do have tons of access for full-size machines, full-size trails, the Maverick Turbos, Defenders, Commanders, any of the bigger machines.
Yeah, Utah is one of the places in the country where they really do focus in on 50-inch trails. You know, out west in California, we really don't have any 50-inch trails, but in Utah, they really focus on it and restrict different trails to 50 inches. So the Maverick Trail is a great machine to be able to do that. And as you saw earlier in the day, we barely squeaked through the little 50-inch poles that got us through and onto this trail. There's been some thunderstorms the last couple days, so it's got the perfect amount of moisture on the trail here. It's not muddy, but not dusty, which is really hard to do. It's been a long while since I've been in a 50-inch machine, and it's kind of neat. You're going slow, just cruising through this stuff. Really narrow trails. You definitely could not fit anything wider than 50 inch on this.
Yeah, you gotta take it easy. You don't hit these logs with your mirrors.
Got Teresa in the driver's seat right now. She's having fun. Maybe a little stressed.
Only a little bit on the downhill rock crawling, but it's good right now.
This is kind of a unique spot here. Back in the 1920s, a grizzly bear roamed this area and was killing lots of sheep and cattle and other game. And this monument is for him. And that is approximately how tall he was. He's 9 foot 11 inches tall and weighed 1,100 pounds. That's a big bear, and it's kind of a cool destination. Never seen that before.
So the Uncharted Society is kind of a neat concept in that it connects adventure seekers to BRP certified outfitters that rent Ski-Doo, Sea-Doo, Can-Am off-road and on-road vehicles. So if you're a power sports enthusiast and you want to try out a vehicle before you buy one, you can come to one of these Uncharted Society locations and do a test drive on one of them. Or if you just like to get out and explore new places, you get on the Uncharted Society website and check out their map and go to different locations that you're thinking of. Arrive and they've got machines for you for any type of terrain, whether it's winter, fall, spring, or summer. Pretty easy to get yourself high-sided or low-sided.
Out and help.
Yeah, I might. he's stuck in the rut is the problem.
Might make it. Might get out for this one? He's still crawling. Wow. Good job. Definitely not a novice level trail. I would have been stuck a long time ago.
Probably with a few scratch plastics.
I would have been laying it on its side.
Well, it's interesting with the narrow width. Sometimes it's an advantage and sometimes it's a disadvantage. Most of the time on this trail, I think it's been an advantage.
Okay. Hey, everything's real slow in this kind of stuff. So what lift? So see, just look at your tire right here. Put it right on this lift and go real slow. I like to ride 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas, just so you know. Are you in low? Yeah. Okay. All right. Real slow. Okay. This way a little. Real slow. That way just a hair. Okay. Square up on me. Perfect. Keep coming. That way. Too far, too far. Little movement. All right. We're doing good. Doing good. Keep coming. And you're going to put your tire on this low side now, okay? Doing good. In the water? Yep, into the water. Real slow.
Underneath the highway here.
Lodge itself.
So the lodge itself, we have 11 rooms. We can sleep 44 people. So we offer packages in the summertime and winter as well. You come up, you can get a machine and go out on these rides, stay the night. In the wintertime, we have chefs on site, that kind of thing. So you just show up and you're here. Summertime, we have a lot of access to the summer community, if you will. Bear Lake is really close by to us, so you can actually ride the machines down to Bear Lake if you'd like. Typically what we would give someone in any given day, if it's a simple day, paper maps are always easy. They never break. You know, it's harder to lose them kind of thing.
Don't run out of battery.
Don't run out of battery, that's a good way of putting it. So if it's a simple day and we're just doing something small or a normal loop, you know, sending them up the traditional.
And the trails are all fairly well marked.
A traditional loop. But something like we did today, we have these phones with the app called Avenza, if anyone ever wants to get that. This is just a really easy way for people to just follow the line down and around. This is actually the loop we did today. So if you were unfamiliar with the area, kind of a little more nervous about finding your way through, you could just, you're the blue dot and follow it around all day. And Avenza actually has all the motorized maps for pretty much everywhere. You just find your area, the motorized vehicle map. So Caribou Targhee is this north side. And you can see that's that Bloomington loop we were talking about earlier. So you can loop yourself all the way up and around. Every one of these dots is something to stop and see.
And the key part of this, that's not what I have to do on my phone. You give the people this phone.
I'll just hand you this phone and you can take it with you.
Take it with you and bring it back at the end of the day. It's all preloaded. Mm-hmm. You can use that to figure out where to go.
Yeah, so on the more complex days or full days, usually we'll hand out these phones. And we have enough of these phones for every vehicle we have. But
And these are all cool places to stop.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I mean, if you start zooming in on these, you can start looking closer. This one's that Pat Hollow plane wreck. Some of these are turns for specific loops. Like Bloomington Lake is this guy here. This is called Cowboy's Prayer. That's kind of a more technical descent. Nothing crazy hard, just you gotta pay attention.
If you have to pray, you should probably pay
I don't
attention.
know if I'd want to do it on a horse, and then, you know, some of this stuff is instructional, like put it in 4 low for this climb here. It's just a longer climb that you want to be in 4 low for.
Nice.
Paris Ice Caves.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, kind of makes it easy for us. And then especially when you get out of the forest and have to go through, this will pop you out near the cities. I mean, you want some great shakes?
Oh, nice.
Pops you back.
Who
in the
doesn't want a
lines.
great shake? Very cool.
Yeah. All right, so what we're looking at here is actually the Uinta-Wasatch side of trail access that we have here, as well as the Caribou-Targhee side, we are located right close to the border between Utah and Idaho, so we actually have 2 Forest Services, districts, if you will. The X's are roughly where the lodge would be. Again, these are, because of the overlay, we're kind of right in the middle there. When you look at this is actually about 70 miles long by roughly 10, 12 miles wide. But when you actually start getting into it, it's hundreds of miles of trail on both sides of us, north and south, Utah and Idaho sides. Today we kind of ran south side, and we're ending up down here in Ephraim's Grave, which, if you look down here, is down here in Long Hollow area. Where we were in the 50-inch machines, the Maverick Trails, we did try and prioritize staying on the smaller trails. So a lot of those, starting off from the summit, we came down the Sinks main road here. We got onto what's called Little Bear, which is a 50-inch trail, and then onto Worm Fence. So all of this is only accessible on either 4-wheelers or 50-inch side-by-sides. And we made a nice loop all the way around to Ephraim's Grave. So that was kind of the first half of the day, getting down to Ephraim's Grave, which is a pretty famous bear around here. Good location, destination to go and see. On the end of the day, we came back up Long Hollow, and we looped this around, got back on a 50-inch trail just for some excitement, and then followed this out to come back out and around. Partway back though, we decided we wanted to go have lunch, so we actually dropped down a more technical trail into Garden City, which this zigs and zags all over, but it's off the map here.
And went through a creek and down some crevasses and all kinds of fun stuff.
We belayed our way down there. Is that a good way to say that? We had some lunch down there at Cody's and then ended up coming up Garden City Canyon, which again pops off this map and comes up this trail here, and then back home down the highway, which is right there.
And all told, today this loop was somewhere between 30 and 40 miles ish. And you got tons of stuff we didn't even touch.
North and south.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, lots more to do.
Do you want me to hit kind of like, hey, these are our key destinations?
Sure.
So key destinations on the northern side. Again, we're right here up Beaver Creek. So right here, this is the Pat Hollow plane wreck. There was a C-47 that crashed there.
What?
Back in the 50s, 60s, somewhere in there? 60s. And then you can, I'm not gonna draw all the way up here, but up here,
Okay, what the heck's Marijuana Flat? I mean, everybody's got to know what the heck.
Everybody now?
Wait a minute. Is that a destination from here?
Might be a destination you gotta go and see, right? It's more of an experience.
Okay, all right.
So you end up coming down, where am I looking here? So right here is Paris Ice Caves, which you can drive to the Minnetonka Ice Caves, which are on the Bear Lake side, up this pass over here. This pass down here. The Paris Ice Caves, though, it's you pretty much have to off-road to get to them. They're pretty interesting. You get down in the cliff line.
Which is
it's
up here.
Very, very cold, yeah. You walk down in there and you can feel the temperature difference.
Nice.
There was still snow in there last week when I was there, and it's
How is there snow inside a cave?
middle of August.
Isn't that ice?
So
I was just there last week.
ice, snow, yeah.
There was ice, stalactites.
So Bloomington Lake, this is kind of a fun one, a special place for me. I love going up there. Take the wife up there all the time. We like to go up there. There's a pretty fun rope swing, some cliff diving, activities of that sort. We'll take a paddleboard with us and go paddle around the lake for the day. But you can also access that through these trail systems. This is kind of more of a full day event. You loop yourself all the way. You can hit Paris Ice Caves and Bloomington kind of all in the same day. And then to save yourself some time, you go out and then you end up coming back up St. Charles Canyon right here. And then this loops home. Oops, that's St. Charles. Messed that up.
So that's the most popular loop for a day in the northern
Yes.
Forest Service area.
Yeah, for a full day, that would be our more popular loop. People love going up to the lake and then accessing all the other things like Pat Hollow and Paris Ice Caves.
But
at
you
the same
didn't
time.
like us as much, so you took us down here instead?
Yeah, that was kind of what when we had our meeting, we talked about it. No, the worm fence where we were trying to stay on 50-inch. This worm fence is beautiful. You get up on this upper ridge line.
Really cool to experience 50-inch stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't done any 50-inch stuff since the Maverick Trail came out, so that was pretty neat.
And there's 50-inch trail actually all over here. So if you look down at these maps, every one of these dashed lines is actually a 50-inch trail.
Wow.
And only 50-inch machines can get on these. So you have tons of crossover into the full-size stuff. But
Okay.
to really access a lot of this area, I mean, you can see just by looking at this.
And mostly the stuff you've got in green here for your larger
The
vehicles.
green you can be on with any
You can take a
vehicle.
street vehicle on most
You
of
could,
those.
yeah.
So those are more the graded trails.
Yeah, they're far better maintained, so they're a little smoother, a little more comfortable ride. They still are pretty
But not as interesting as some of these 50-inch.
correct,
So
I would say. Yeah.
you can do both things.
Yeah, the 50-inch really are powerful machines up here. There's so much access, especially a lot of these highline trails. They're very beautiful. You get up on top of everything. You're overlooking everywhere. I personally really like the 50-inch trails. So, and then the full size you saw today, as soon as we were back on the full-size trails, how many more people we ran into.
Yeah.
On the 50-inch trails, I don't think we even ran into anybody today.
No.
So,
Well, there's no room to pass, so that's a good thing.
they're pretty tight trails. So, the 50-inch trails are a lot of fun.
Nice.
So, but we can make full-day loops both sides. You can do 2, 4, 8 hour. It's kind of our paradigm.
With both Defender Cruise on the full size and Maverick X3 Maxes.
Yes. So we run the 4-seat X3 Max, the 6-seater Defender, and the 2-seat Maverick Trail. So those have been our cream of the crop, if you will.
Nice. Well, that allows you to cover all the trails here.
Yeah, that gets everything. So it just really comes down to what you're looking for as a person. Usually people will pick their vehicle before they come out, but when we start getting into mapping, all of us know a lot of these trails that are sending these people out. So I ask a lot of questions. Hey, have you heard of anything? Is there something you specifically want to see? So a lot of people have heard of Pat Hollow's Plane Wreck or Ephraim's Grave, and they want to go down and see those things, something specific. And so we can kind of make these loops more fine-tuned to the people themselves, which is a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. Well, lots of room to explore. You got it would be a long day getting way up here, but you could do it.
It'd be a very long day.
Very long day. That sounds like a challenge.
I think we might need to do it there.
All right.
Let's do Soda Springs down to Salt Lake somewhere.
Soda Springs and Salt